This is a costume. This is something that I don't really wear a lot, but for the story purpose, this is all from my closet from the year I turned 20 years old. These are all my clothes from being 20, and they're too big on me now. That's the kind of shit I'm into. Literally, the two words that really or the two phrases that really influenced me the most. I heard these quotes and they basically stopped time in my life. The first time was when I heard Bradley Noel of Sublime and Overdose fame say, "As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna live illegal." And I thought, fuck yeah, because I got that outlaw blood. Like, that was all me. And then the second thing I heard that really made stuff click is when that little black boy that stole his mom's car and went on the joyride and hit all those cars said, "I just want to do hood rat things with my friend." That's that shit I do like. Like, I literally have puncture wounds in my hand right now because I just came here from a wedding where I told them I wouldn't get a tattoo because I don't believe in that sort of commitment, but I'll give them a scar. So I high-fived a cactus. It fucking hurts. I like to do bad shit. It's fun to me. Like, that's the shit I do like. I'm Dr. Danger. I can create and solve it all at once. It's what I thrive in, so I'm selfish. And I keep learning new things that help it out. This year was the year that I started hot wiring cars again. We did it a lot in high school because we all drove piece of shit cars that you could just start. Like, I think Thomas's car, you could start with a screwdriver. So, like, we just found more inventive ways to steal each other's cars, and then we would move them to the other parts of the city, and it was fun, and we all laughed. But somebody would be really inconvenienced, and we'd make them go on, like, a scavenger hunt just to fuck with them, to find it. And it got to be really bad because once we started doing it again to each other in college, it was really bad because we had just taken up drinking and driving. There's nothing I love more on earth than drinking and driving. I promise you that. That's why I don't drive anymore. And we'd go on these things called big beer runs. And so a little bit more about it at the time. This was just after Katrina, so a flood of really good cocaine had just come through Starkville, Mississippi. And I mean good cocaine. Like, you hear my nose drip as soon as I did it? That's like me mouth-watering. And so, like, we're just on all this rowdy powder, and we're getting really brazen on these big beer runs. We've gone on so many big beer runs at this point. We know the guy behind the cashier. We know him by name. It's we go to John's Grocery off of Highway 45, and there's a one-eyed man behind the counter. His name is John. John runs Steve Grocery. And you buy quarts there because you can't buy a 40 in Mississippi. And literally the first time that I bought from John, I used a Three Stooges ID. Like, he was not into the business of saying no. And like, we just keep going on these, and we get to the point where we go on 3 a day, and you buy a quart, and it's like 15 minutes out of town, but you have to drive back roads all the way back. And you can't go over 25 miles an hour, and you finish the quart on the way home. So that way you can throw it at the signs for the turn signals when you get back into city limits. And we went on so many of these, we beat the brakes off of this damn sign. It started to curve once we finally got out of there. We beat the brakes off these 3 signs. And we'd go on so many that it just got boring, and we knew the road so much. So one night it was after a dance formal, sorority formal, and it was a lot of fun. And the great thing about sorority formals is you don't pay for shit, and you get lit. You get lit up. Those are some of the most fun things in my life. And after one of these, we stole Dr. Batman's girlfriend's car. And it was a really nice car. It's like a 7 Series BMW. And we'd never stolen a BMW before. We didn't know if we could still do it. And we did. And because she just left it unlocked, because it's Starkville, Mississippi, people don't even lock their doors at night. Like, not a thing. So we got in, and Dr. Batman surgically took apart the power cords and everything, hooked them back up together, and the car started. It started, and then we've talked to OnStar before, so he talked to OnStar and got him to say everything was okay. And we drive, and we go, and we get to John's, and it's after hours because we've been at this formal. And we have to call Steve because John's is closed, and it's after hours. We've gotten on such a good basis with Steve that we call him, and we say, "Can you open up John's for us? We're coming through." That's the type of relationship that we have together. And we call him, it's 3 in the morning, and he comes out of the back where he lives, opens up for us. We buy 3 big beers, and we just go and cruise into the night. And it's a full moon, so the gravel road that you drive back on is all shale. And like I said, cocaine, everything like this, there's not a lot of good decision-making going. And in the car, it's me, I'm riding shotgun, Dr. Batman is driving, and then Biscuit, a.k.a. Doug Scruggs, is in the back. Doug Scruggs isn't even his name. We just couldn't think of a dumber name than Biscuit to call him, and we came up with Doug Scruggs. I think his real name is Matthew. So we're all in the back, and we really egg each other on a lot, like to just do stupid shit. And so all of a sudden, underneath the full moon, that's like all this shale is lit up, Dr. Batman clicks the lights off. And he immediately puts his hand that's left over the clock, so it's completely black, and all you can see is the white of the road. And we're driving back, and like it's really exciting. Like, I mean, you can just feel every part of your body like energized from the rush of this. Like, I love danger. It's my favorite thing on earth. And it's just like we're going, and all of a sudden, Biscuit from the back goes, "Stop, stop, stop, wait." And we're like, oh my God, slide on the brakes, like you can hear it and everything. And we come to a stop, and everybody gets out, and we're like, what is it? Like, what's going on, Doug? And he goes, y'all, check this out. And there's a construction site out in the middle of nowhere, and there's all this heavy machinery around. And Biscuit works at the co-op, so he's pretty familiar with heavy machinery. And you're looking at Buck Ball, the air-to-ball equipment in Starkville, Mississippi. So we know what we're doing around heavy machinery. And so we get him, and Biscuit's like, I'm going to get in the front end loader. He's like, you go get in the backhoe. And he's like, let's race. And so we start like racing up and down this road in these backhoes, like underneath the moonlight, because they don't have lights on them. And it's like, it's one of the more fun things I've ever done. And so like we're starting to push each other on there, and like we do all the dumb kid shit that we never did as kids, just because we didn't think to be this bad. And we didn't. I can't believe it, but like we got real bad into shit later. And so we go back, and we get to park, and we take turns like racing and everything. And we get back to where the construction site is, and there's this huge like 20 by 20 foot hole in the earth where they've used all this equipment to dig it out. And then Biscuit starts to fill it in. And he's got the front end, and then he's just doing it, all while drinking a beer. It was a really rude thing to say, but he was like, this is my baby. And he would drink it out of one crippled hand and then just push the dirt in. And so I started pushing the dirt in because I'm not going to let Biscuit have all the fun. And so we sat there and we pushed the dirt. We filled the hole completely. It took us 2.5 hours to undo a day's work from these hardworking people. And we patted it down and everything. Like, I mean, it looked like they had never been there. And then we did the typical you steal a car thing to do. Then we drove them off in separate directions into the woods. And we just hit them, and then we left them a scavenger hunt to go and try and find this heavy machinery again. And I still laugh hard thinking about that. Like, just looking at how happy Biscuit was driving that front end loader. And the next day we came back, and they'd put up steel grates and steel bars. It was like a do not allow thing. There was a roadblock waiting for us when we got back into town the next day. That was how Dr. Batman got his first DUI. Thank y'all. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Nathan.